Hello and welcome to Real Talk with me, Azania Mosaka. Did you ever think that it would be possible that rap could overtake rock music as the most popular genre amongst music fans? Well, it has in the US. According to Nielsen's Music 2017 year-end report, it has done so. And not only that, but the music streaming platform Spotify recently revealed that hip-hop is the most listened to music in the world. Kendrick Lamar, for instance, has just won a Pulitzer Prize for music, the first rap artist to do so. And here at home, the genre is hailed as the fastest growing subculture in music. Just yesterday, in fact, Questa's Dakar 2 was named by RISA as the biggest selling hip hop album ever, going 7 times platinum. So shout out to Questa, job well done. On today's episode, we're going to be talking to old school of cool, together with the new school in the hip hop game. We'll be exploring the business of music and what it takes to stay relevant. I have the multi-hit maker Dalez joining me, and later on we'll be talking to the supremely talented Shane Eagle, and we'll chat to Publicist, to the stars Farah Fortune, who are all here in studio today. So he's a rapper, he's a trendsetter, he's an influencer, and you know, who eats hot wings on a private jet? Mr. Fresh to Death himself, Dalez.
Oh,
welcome, North God.
I'm flattered. I'm flattered. First and foremost, I just want to say happy birthday.
Oh,
I know it's your
man.
birthday. You know, you look younger every single day.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
I'm
26,
inspired.
right?
Yeah, I'm inspired.
So well done. Well done. You won the GQ Best Dressed Man Award a number of times, more than once.
I think so.
You are called the North God. And you're doing incredible things. Do you ever look back and just marvel at the success that you've achieved?
I do sometimes, not all the time, because I always like to look forward and not really like to look back. But it has been a long journey. I think it's been about 11 years. A lot of trials and tribulations.
Was it difficult breaking in?
Definitely. You know, there were a lot of challenges at the beginning, you know. For South African hip-hop, especially English-speaking hip-hop, back then it was kind of looked down upon. You know, it was kind of looked like, yo, we're trying to be too American. Or you're trying to be too flashy. You had to have a little element of vernac, or you had to have an element of dust. Do you know what I'm saying? And for me, I always just felt like I had to kind of be authentic to myself. You know, I don't come from a hard background.
Yeah.
You know, I am a flashy, jiggy person. So I put that in the music, and I just stayed true to myself, and here I am today.
You were born in Washington.
Yeah.
Your mom, Priscilla.
Yeah.
Your dad, Leslie Jonathan Mambe.
Yeah, the original Les Maada.
Yeah, and you were
Big dog!
the junior.
Yeah.
Junior. And your dad was known for hosting like really fabulous parties. He has an impressive LP collection.
Yeah.
So is that where your love of music first started?
I definitely think so, you know. Yeah, Pops, you know, the house parties, the records. But I think my love for music generally came from Michael Jackson.
Oh.
Yeah, and
what was it about Michael Jackson?
I mean, everybody loved Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
you know. So I just think that's the superstar within him kind of built the superstar within me.
Wow. So when you think back, when you look back to those days when your dad used to have those house parties, the LPs, what songs take you back to your childhood?
Michael Jackson, of course. Michael Jackson, Thriller, Beat It, Off the Wall, anything Michael Jackson. I mean, anybody in my family knows that when it came to Michael Jackson, that was my number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. That's where it started and that's where it ended. So anything Michael Jackson.
I'm looking at the look today. It seems very Michael Jackson inspired.
Yeah,
the trim on the side of those
look
pants.
At me. Looking clean out here. Yeah. You know, I feel Real Talk with lasagna is something, you know, to dress up nice for. So
yeah. No, thank you for honoring that.
Yeah. And it's your birthday.
Yeah. You came up through Josie. It was you, Bongs, Crazy Lou,
And
Ishmael as well. So would you guys ever come back together? Because we're seeing this resurgence. Bands are coming back together. Bongo Muffin's been doing their thing, TKZ, and then lately we have Squatter Camp as well. Is it possible?
I don't know. I got no words, to be honest with you. Look,
are you still friends?
Yes. I mean, you know, there's a mutual understanding between us. You know, mutual respect. I just think, you know, the way that I'm going and my path where I'm going is different. But look, if you pay me $1 million, then we can have a different conversation. Just saying. But
what are you willing to do for money, Leslie?
No,
it doesn't sound good.
No, but honestly, I just think that, you know, that time has come. It's passed. I don't really see.
Like you said, you're future focused.
Yeah, and just like, even with my music is not even like there, you know? It's like very ahead of time.
Now, out of the band members that you were with, of course, Ishmael's gone on to do his own thing, but you've managed to actually have a very sustainable career. how have you managed to stay relevant and make sure that you're tapping into the zeitgeist and the spirit of the moment every time?
The zeitgeist.
Ay, wena.
Great English. No, I just think, you know, I was staying true to myself, being authentic to who I am. I'm a people's person. You know, I love being around people, having fun.
Yeah.
So I take that vibe into studio. We're in studio till 8 this morning. So many people in the studio, from Dream Team to Tuli Stark. You know, we try to hit up Shane Eagle, but my man's Hollywood these days. But, you know, that's still my boy. But nonetheless, I just think, you know, collaboration is very important, especially when it comes to music. You know, some people like to always keep the music a bit too tight into themselves.
Yeah.
I'm more of like an open kind of a person. If there's 6 people in the studio, all 6 people are getting onto one record.
Yeah.
That's just the way I like to do it.
Because we've seen you collaborate in the past.
Exactly.
You've worked with AKA, with Muggs, with Ricky Rig.
Gemini.
It's endless. The list is endless. So you believe in that collective.
Yeah, because you exchange energy. And I guess, you know, when you exchange that energy, you're able to, like, reinvent yourself, you know. It's a breath of fresh air, so.
So what do you think is causing this increase in rise and interest in hip-hop? Because there was a phase when house was the rage. There was a phase when kwaito was the rage. And it seems like now it's time for hip-hop to shine.
Money. Definitely the money.
Yeah.
But I also think that, you know, the talent, you know, I think the talent is really, really strong. You know, you got Shane Eagle, like I mentioned, you got people like Tuli Stark, you got Gemini Major, Tsejo. All these guys are incredibly talented. They've got a lot to say. They got their own background, they got their own story to tell, and I think that kind of gauges the audience and really captivates people to really know, okay, what is this person about, and where is he going, and how does he make me feel? So I definitely think right now that the talent within South African hip-hop is impeccable.
I like that. The fact that you're saying it's about how it makes people feel. You know, it's been said, Maya Angelou's quote about it's not what you do, it's actually how what people remember you for is how you made them feel.
Yeah.
So you guys are literally
we speak into the we speaking we tapping into the heart, we tapping into, you know, it's not, it's about, like, I don't need to say something to make you feel a certain type of way. I can just make a sound that can make you feel a certain type of way.
So we were reflecting on the fact that your career has been so sustainable and so successful. You've had longevity over the years. But what are some of the pitfalls that you would say would make it easy for someone to fall off the wagon or to really just lose focus with their career?
Fame.
Yeah.
Fame. Kids don't do fame. Fame is one hell of a drug. And drugs are one hell of a drug. Okay? Yeah, fame. Definitely the fame. You know, when people get caught up in their own hype, they, you know, kind of get caught up in believing what they say is the most official thing to say. Yeah. And there's nobody kind of being like, yo, bro, what you said was trash. You know what I'm saying?
So it's about the people you surround yourself with?
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, you know, you gotta have people that are grounded. You gotta go through ups and downs. And I think when you too high and when you drop, that's like probably the best part of being a legend, because it's how you get up, I guess, is it makes you who you are.
So 50 years from now, out of all your hits, Hall of Fame, Mandela Money, all of that, all the albums that you've dropped, what do you think generation after generation will say is the Dalles track?
Dice, you know what I'm saying? Dice, make it shake it light. Dice, make it shake it. No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. Obviously, it's the more conservative one. The one that's about, you know, loving one another, having kids, raising a 4-year-old, being a proud father. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, that one is the more legendary one.
Okay, so we'll talk about that after the break, right? We're going to tap into Les the father, not so much the hip-hop star, right?
Big
so that's
pops.
coming up. More after the break with Dalles on his life outside music and how he's managed to reinvent his sound and what's next for Fresh to Deaf Records. Stay with us. Welcome back. That was Dalles with Gemini, all about their lifestyle. He's worked with every other A-lister in the music business since day one. People like AKA, Ricky Rick, Muggs, and many, many more. And in 2014, he starred in the TV reality show, The Real Josie A-Listers. So he's pretty much done it all. And apart from show business, what else is dear to Leslie? Leslie, you're a father to 4-year-old Maddie.
Madison, yeah.
That is just gorgeous. She is adorable.
I know. She's amazing. She's definitely got the character of a father. very confident.
The looks of her mother.
Yeah, the looks of her mother, of course. Yeah, you know, you gotta give it up to Mom Dukes, of course. Yeah, it's a wonderful experience. You know, day to day, everything is just take it one step at a time. You know.
How has she made you a better human being?
I'm definitely less selfish. You know, I definitely am. I'm more hardworking.
Yeah.
Because obviously, you know, I got a mouth to feed now. So that obviously, you know, these 8 a.m. studio sessions are obviously all for Madison's.
Yeah, there's the school
health.
run in the morning, Daddy.
You know. Oh yeah, I do the school run too. That's also very nice. But yeah, I really feel like she's changed my life in a very big way.
So is it true that you are Kyra's godfather?
Yeah.
And AKA is Maddie's godfather?
Yeah.
It's like, it's obvious.
Yeah, like,
the two of you are tight.
Yeah. That's my brother right there, you know. Yeah, we've been through a lot, you know. We're at each other's, the births of our kids. And it's important, you know. It's important to have, you know, somebody that's in the same industry as you, got the same goals, share the same kind of vision. To be, you know, a part of your life. I think it's very important, you know.
Do you guys build each other as guys? Like
Definitely.
tell each other when the one has made a flop somewhere, like,
definitely.
that wasn't cool, my guy.
Definitely, you know. But, you know, also what's most important is that we motivate each other to work. And now, you know, there's a lot of business opportunities that we're trying to explore, and there's a lot of opportunities that are definitely going to help South African hip-hop.
Yeah.
From a business perspective.
So as a dad, I'm sure you're aware that as she grows up, she's going to be making her own decisions.
Yeah.
So what's the one thing that you feel that you're not going to give her free rein on, that you that you will be the final stamp of approval on?
It's difficult, you know, because you told me off air that this is the generation of the
Alpha generation.
The alpha generation.
Yeah, they'll be the most educated.
Yes.
Yeah.
The wealthiest.
The wealthiest. And just digital natives,
exactly.
Screens in front of them.
I don't think there's anything that I could stop her from doing. I can just generally just make sure she grows up into the most perfect person she can be.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she'll be able to make the right decisions, you know. Anything she does right now, I'm just for it, you know what I mean? She could take my cell phone, throw it out the car. I'm just like, wow, girl, the way you threw that phone out that car, wow. No, because she's just too cute, you know what I'm saying? I just love her like that, so.
Daddy's girl.
Too much.
Right, so when you look at your parents and how they raised you, are there certain things that you do that they did that you're doing in raising her?
Yeah, I guess, you know, my parents really, you know, allowed me to be as free as possible. You know, allowed me to be a very free spirit, never really knocked on my dreams or my goals. Never really forced me to do something I never ever wanted to do. So I think that's exactly how I am with Maddie. You know, I'm very free, and I let her do whatever she feels like doing, except for miss school. She can't miss no school.
Education is important.
Yeah, I know you're watching right now. You better go get bathed up and get ready for school tomorrow. Daddy's coming home.
So if you weren't doing hip hop, what do you think you'd be doing? Because you competed, what, in 2013? Yeah. In a skateboarding competition.
Yeah, 2013, no, that's too close. Like, let's talk 2003.
Really?
Yeah, like 2003 vibes. Yeah, I definitely would have been a skateboarder. You know, skateboarding is very dear to my heart. I just love it. It's just something that I grew up doing. I'm very passionate about it. Even still today, you know, I still wish, man, I wish I had that body, that skateboard body. I could just do all these tricks, but I definitely can't. You know, I'm at that age where I just sit from afar, go on Instagram, and just like all the pro skaters. And big shout out to all the South African skaters, you know, making a name for themselves globally. Nah, for real, I know it's hard, it's difficult, but just keep pushing. And I see you, I wish I could do something to help. But Farah Fortune's here, and she's got the answers to everything.
Yeah, Farah's going to be on the show a little bit later. You know, this is an interactive platform, right?
Oh, really?
We always keep our eye, on what people are saying on social media, and we also have a WhatsApp line.
Oh, wow.
So, yes, let's check out this WhatsApp.
Hi, Azania and Les. This is Mabella. I have a question for Les. I would like to know that who is the artist that he wants to collaborate with in South Africa, and internationally, who is that artist that he wants to collaborate with? Thank you.
Thank you.
Firstly, Miss Mabena, I'd like to say thank you so much for that message. That was a wonderful message. You sound like an amazing person. God bless you, and happy Women's Day. Secondly, I would love to...
Now you're like a soccer star.
I would love to collaborate with so many artists. Wait, here in South Africa first?
She said both, internationally and locally.
Okay, now Shane Eagle, definitely, because Shane Eagle was supposed to come to the studio last night. He didn't pull up. Ooh. So now I'm putting him on blast right now, live. He's about to come on. So he needs to come to the studio after this. So Shane Eagle, number one. Number two, Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy is my other dad. And Christian Combs is my little brother. So I just love to just kind of just get back into, you know, the jigginess and enjoy Coachella with them right now. I could.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. But you were in LA not too long ago, a couple of years ago. So what's happening with that, with the international presence?
Yeah, the international presence is definitely building. You know, I've got a wonderful relationship with DJ Envy. We brought him to South Africa a couple times, and he's just hosted a new project called Hall of Fame, which I just dropped about 2 months ago. So I think, you know, that I've always had that international sound and that international love and feel. So we definitely, you know, tying a couple of ropes and making a couple major moves. LA, New York, and then obviously Texas, where I'm from.
Yeah. So what do you think of people saying that you have to conquer this continent and this country first before you can even think of going abroad, or that you need to carve out your identity and focus on this audience and let the international people hear about you and be the ones to approach you?
I think that's a very like old way of thinking, just based on the fact that now that we've got the internet, you know, we've got social media, we've got, like you said, the likes of Spotify, SoundCloud. Music is so easily accessible that, you know, you could be a person out in Tanzania and one song could take you from China all the way to New York City. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that is like a terrible way of thinking, and I just think that if you've got your own journey carved out for yourself, you know exactly how you want to do it, stick to your formula, you know? Don't look at other people's formula. You know, maybe it worked for Azania to stay in South Africa and kill it, you know what I'm saying? You know, why, you know, look at Trevor Noah. He had his own journey and he stuck to his own journey, and look where he is today.
Right.
Yeah.
So the business of music in itself is very hard. You have your own record label, and I'm sure that it's also brought a lot of value for you owning your own music and being the master of your own destiny. So would you advise other young people to go about it that way instead?
I definitely would, but if you're not ready to, don't do it. Record labels are very important. All the major record labels, beautiful starting point. I was fortunate enough to have Lonster as a wonderful stepping stone and still today as a mentor to kind of just always guide me through the industry. You know, the industry is very tough. You need guidance. So I would definitely say, you know, maybe in a later stage, after 10 years, go for it. But if you are ready, like at the beginning, to do everything yourself, then do it. If you're young, you've got the fire, you got the strength, go for it.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we'll hear about Shane Eagle's journey, because that's exactly what he's done. And of
man.
course, we're going to be talking to Farrah as well, those people that artists need to surround themselves with. Well, thank you so much to Dalez. He's going to prep now, and he'll be performing a little bit later, and you can catch that performance at the end of the show. But joining me after the break is a leader of the new school. He's all about getting his music to the people personally, and he sells his albums through a campaign called #20K Out the Trunk. Now, I don't claim to be any kind of expert in hip-hop, but this young man's hustle and his flow is just way too nice.
I'm addicted to this man. Made it on set. Man, I don't rest. Know some rappers that can't pay their rent this month, so I don't trip when they pay no respect. Love, you can't afford me. Cannot ignore me. I've been goalkeeping my dreams. Now these labels trying to score me. Not who you lie to, not who you cry.
Welcome back to Real Talk. My next guest, in just a couple of years in the industry, has become a force. He's known for dropping some heavy bars that would make you think that he's been at this for decades. His 2017 debut album, Yellow, was heavily praised for its introspective storytelling and innovative sound. And he quickly blew up after impressing audiences and judges on the hip-hop reality show, The Hustle. Some liken him to a young J. Cole, and he's actually shared the stage with him and the likes of Bryson Tiller, as well as Travis Scott. A bigger compliment is that he'll be one of the opening acts for the one and only Chance the Rapper on April the 30th. He's the CEO of Eagle Entertainment and Freshman of the Year winner at the 2017 Hip Hop Awards here in South Africa. Shane Eagle, welcome. Welcome.
I feel welcomed.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations, man. It's like You matriculated in 2014,
Yeah.
and just in a matter of years, here you are, blowing up in the way that you are.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Sometimes not really,
Not really.
but sometimes it's all I prayed for, so
Yeah.
it makes sense.
As they say, dreams do come true.
They do, and I'm still, it's one long journey, but it's just a blessing to be here.
So what's the one tangible difference or change that happened in your life since you were on the hustle?
I feel like everything changed since the hustle. It was a few songs ago where I mentioned that, you know, I thank God for that opportunity. Because I didn't even know it was happening, crazy enough, because I didn't have TV. I wasn't watching TV at that time. I was just fascinated with music and listening to music. And one of my best friends called me up and he was like, there's a show, you should enter. And then, since then, it's been just a crazy journey.
Yeah, and you've been presenting as well, so
Yeah, that
TV
was cool.
presenter. Did that take away from your focus on
It didn't take away from the focus. It was just more of like, a supplement at the time. You know, we were focusing on a whole different strategies and ways to figure things out, and at the same time I was enjoying it. So it was just a very, very cool opportunity. And
was it easy presenting
it
that
was.
transition?
Well, I wouldn't say presenting was easy. It was just more, they just wanted me to be myself, and it's not really difficult to be yourself. I feel like it's difficult for a lot of people to be themselves, but not for me.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you do make it look easy. Very relaxed, very much yourself.
Yeah.
But from the get-go, you decided to do things differently, not to sign with a major record label.
Definitely.
You started your own label.
Yeah.
What informed that strategy?
Because independence is freedom, and I feel like there is no better time to be free, especially for young people coming from a place like South Africa. I mean, if you hear about independence all around the world, it's something else. But if you're from here, especially because of our history, I mean, you want to be free. So us being purists in what we do with the music is just the best way for us to do it, you know? Yeah.
Now, your upbringing's been very interesting.
Yeah.
Because you lived between your mom's house and your dad's house.
Right.
In Recha Park and Kempton Park.
Yeah, Robbie Ridge.
Robbie Ridge.
Yeah, Robbie Ridge
and
was
Kempton
mom's
Park.
side, yeah.
So a lot of that, your upbringing and your family life, is
Yeah.
that what informs the kind of lyrics that you write? Because they are intense, they're very reflective.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with that, but at the same time, it's more of like these two worlds that I was exposed to. Like my mom, and she was from the township, and you know, I was always allowed to be in those situations when I wasn't with my dad, and my dad being this European Irish man that came on one of his ships a long time ago, met my mom, and you know, lucky for me, it just worked out for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a crazy journey in terms of learning from his side and my mom's side to kind of put that in my music. It's like having all types of friends and all types of backgrounds and influences.
Yes,
it kind of just rubs off naturally.
Yeah, and makes it even more authentic.
Right.
So what's been the toughest thing? Because there's the one side being an artist, and then there is the business of music side of it. What's been the hardest lesson?
To own your music. I feel like that's been something that I've learned being in the industry, and just seeing what happens to artists who are not really sure of what they need to be doing. A lot of people end up in wrong situations in terms of record labels and stuff like that. And my job is just for anybody who's like me, who came from the neighborhood I came from, or who sees me and is trying to make some sort of a difference. It's those things, you know. It's okay to be independent.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it's worth it in the long run.
Any mentors?
Myself.
No man is an island, come on.
Myself, but myself. Yeah.
Okay, so the hustle as a stepping stone. I remember I've watched all the seasons actually, and it was sad to see you go. But the reality is that with many of these shows, the winners aren't necessarily the ones who will rise to the top and have staying power.
Yeah, I feel like the best thing that ever happened to me was not winning the show. Although it feels like I did, but you know,
What did that do? Did it make you hungrier, make you want it more?
Definitely. It's just at the same time with a TV show, especially like The Hustle, there were a lot of ways where I couldn't really express myself, or I felt like it was kind of restricting me to do certain things. You know, it is a competition. It's not necessarily like a free flow. It's when I make music and when I create, I don't like any sort of restrictions like time. I can't really put time on art. I don't like being pressured to do anything. I don't, you know, I hate advice, you know, so, but after the TV show, there's a couple of things that I learned that made sense for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've got a voice note for you as well. Like I said,
real?
we are checking and keeping our eye on your comments on social media and, of course, on WhatsApp. So here's a voice note for you, Shane.
Let's hear it.
Good evening. You're speaking to Brenna Lee, and I'm from Kimberley, Northern Cape. Firstly, I'd like to say a happy birthday to Miss Azania. May your radiance be everlasting. You are an amazing soul. And a question to Shane Eagle. I believe you have been to Kimberley with the Manaka production concert and the works. So how has that experience been for you? And would you consider, if ever you have a tour, would you come back to Kimberley?
Thank you for that.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Again.
Thank you.
Kimberley, Kimberley, there's so much love in Kimberley. As the team and Eagle Entertainment, we love going out there because there's so much love. And I definitely, with the tour, the Yellow Tour is coming, so hopefully we'll make a pit stop in Kimberley for everybody out there one of these days.
If the demand is there,
if the demand is there, if they bring it, if they ask hard enough and the numbers are right,
you'll make it there.
We there.
So tell me about who plaits your hair.
Sometimes it varies, but today it was my girlfriend.
Yeah. So how do you allay her concerns? Because there are all these perceptions about rappers, about musicians, and not being loyal.
Right. But I feel like it's just different with different people, I guess, especially with rap artists and stuff. There's so many stereotypes or taboos and stuff that I just stay away from. I've been with, she's my best friend, and she's been with me through everything. It's easier to relate to someone who was with me before everything happened and who's with me on this journey. We like best friends, so I can't imagine not spending so much time with someone who's just like me, so it's cool. She did it, and sometimes shout out to my sister. I told her I would send her a shout out, so shout out to Candy. She does my hair sometimes,
So grounded and ever so cool. Thank you so much, Shane. And all of the best, by the way, on the 30th.
Oh yeah, first of all, we just need to just make a quick announcement that South Africa doesn't know. Golden Circle for the Dome and Chance to Rap is officially sold out, and that's major, but we do have 3 double tickets to give away that we're actually going to be giving away on the show.
You're stealing my shine.
All you guys have to do is use the hashtag CastleLightUnlocks, tweet Real Talk on 3, and tell us who are the headliners for the show, and maybe you could get a ticket.
You should be sitting in this chair.
I'm cool over here.
Well, Shane Eagle, Nadia Nakai, and Frank Casino and a few others will be the opening acts for Chance the Rapper in exactly 12 days in Johannesburg. And like Shane said, we're giving away 3 double tickets. So make sure that you check out the competition on our social media pages, and it could be you. Well, behind the glitz and the glam, there's often a team of people who devote their time to keeping artists and their egos in check. It's not easy, and what more if you're a woman who's known as a pit bull in heels? Well, you'll get to meet her in a moment. Stay tuned.
Look out for the Pitbull in heels on the next episode of The Mavericks. Farah Fortune is a PR maven and brand manager. She dominates the industry in South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya. Catch her as she celebrates Madiba with former Liverpool players on Monday, 8:30 on SABC 3. The stage is yours. Something that I can't explain.
Welcome back to Real Talk. That was a clip of SABC 3's The Mavericks, where my next guest was profiled. An article in Entrepreneur magazine describes Farah Fortune as a publicist extraordinaire who built her business not by courting big clients, but by backing young up-and-coming artists and growing her brand alongside theirs. as a mother myself, I totally understand the struggles of finding balance between raising children and still going after your dreams. When I read that she struggled to establish her now thriving business, African Star Communications, working from the floor of her bedroom and also sharing 2-minute noodles with her daughter, I knew that she was the perfect guest to speak to. Farrah, welcome.
Thank you.
Wow. I think the business that you've built in a very tough industry, there's just so much to admire about it.
Thank you. And before I do anything, my daughter messaged me before I came on. She said, "Mommy, tell Azania happy birthday." So happy birthday from Layla and from I had to tell you that. She'd be very upset if I didn't.
Yes, that powerful 13-year-old that you share a home with.
You know, she runs my life. Yeah. She runs my life. So yeah, I had to tell you that.
Thank you for that.
It's a pleasure.
So, how's the process been of building your clients' careers alongside your own? How have you done that?
It's been tough. My business is 10 years old this year. And
congratulations.
Thank you. So in a month we'll celebrate that huge milestone. And in all honesty, I didn't imagine I would even be here at 1 year, never mind 10 years. So it actually hit me the other day that, oh my goodness, it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's been a very critical journey in the sense of building my brand alongside my clients' brands, because a lot of people criticize me for that. And I'll tell you why. When I first started, I started doing a lot of interviews for everything. And I thought, okay, I need to build my credibility as a publicist in order for people to believe in me. And I started doing interviews for different things. And I realized that that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to be a socialite. I wanted to be a businesswoman.
Yeah.
So about 3 years into my business, I decided, okay, I'm only going to do business interviews or anything that's related to my business. And as the business grew, obviously I got more interviews and everything else. And it's been a critical journey because a lot of people, you know, they'll tweet and be like, oh my goodness, you're more famous than your clients, or you're doing this, or you're doing that. And yes, I mean, is that not testament to how great I am at my job?
Yes.
And I need to build, I always realize I need to build a profile because African Star is going to run, you know, after me anyway. It needs to have its own life, and I need to have my own brand. And it's been great for me. It's been really great. Because of that, I'm actually writing a book at the moment. No, it's not an autobiography. I'm way too young for that.
It's a business book.
It's a business book. So I know I have to build that brand and build the credibility of what I've done. Besides, you know, I'm not just a celebrity publicist. I do other things.
Yeah, so you applied the principles that you would apply to your clients' profiles to your own and built your own profile.
Yes.
So we've got a caller who's on the line right now. She's got a question for you.
Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Azania. Hi, Farah. Hope you guys are good.
Hi.
I just wanted to say, Farah, I love you so much. I'm so obsessed with your work. I'm a public relations graduate. I'm currently doing my master's in marketing, and I love public relations. So I wanted to ask, if you want to start a PR consultancy, what is it that I need to do?
All right. Thank you so much for the call.
The first thing you need to do when you start any business is actually register it. So she needs to register the business, and then she needs to decide what type of PR she's going to do. Is it sports PR, music PR, IT? She needs to decide which field she's going into. She can go into all of them. There's no restriction, but it's always nice to start off with a core focal point. You're going to do a lot of free work for a while. You need to prove yourself. Unfortunately, that's the way the industry works. So once she's done that, it should be a little bit easier to get work when you can show clients that, you know, you are capable of getting the ROI back for them in terms of the money they're spending on you, yes.
And what about cutting her teeth within a PR firm before going on out on her own?
You know, I always say to people, don't think that being an entrepreneur is the be-all and end-all. It's really hard. You're an entrepreneur. You know how extremely hard it is. And being an entrepreneur doesn't make you any better than a person that works 9 to 5. You actually probably have less money than a person who works 9 to 5.
More stress, in fact.
And more stress, in fact.
No public holidays.
Yeah, no public holidays. And you really have to watch your health, because you do stress a lot more, and stress is very detrimental to you as an entrepreneur. So you have to watch those things, and you need to realize that, you know, staying in a 9 to 5 to build a little cash pot so you have something to fall back on in harder times, it's not the be-all and end-all to leave your job and have nothing. I was, you know, I always say you have to have a little bit of crazy to be an entrepreneur, and I've got that crazy, trust me, and I can hear my family saying at home, yes, she does, we know she's crazy. And you have to have a little bit of crazy in order to be an entrepreneur, because you do leave a stable job. You don't know if the company is going to work. You cry a lot. You need money to buy tissues and mascara.
I mean, well, I was talking about the hard times that you went through in the process of building your business. So there's a lot of sacrifice.
There is, yes, there is a lot of sacrifice, and ultimately I have a daughter as well, so I've always had to make sure that even though I've had to sacrifice, she's not sacrificing. And I think that's the hardest thing, because, you know, like Les was saying before, you have a mouth to feed, and it becomes such a huge part of your life that the only thing you want to make sure is that this child has clothes on their back, food in their mouth, and a roof over their head. And that's a huge thing as a parent, whether you're a two-parent family or a single parent. That's a huge thing as a parent.
Absolutely. So you've worked with young up-and-comers over the years, as we've just discussed. But the music industry is constantly evolving. So how do you help your clients, and what advice do you have for them to have that staying power? Because it's about building a career that's able to sustain you over decades.
I think the one thing people need to realize if they want to be famous is that there is no such thing as an overnight success. Overnight success usually takes 2 or 3 years. You know, there really is no such thing. And patience is the one thing most people don't have. So if you don't have the patience, it's very rare that you can release a single or a movie or anything else and just become this viral hit all over the world, or even in South Africa. And you have to remember that it takes a long time to build a business. It takes a long time to build a brand. I didn't start making money in this business till maybe 3 or 4 years in, and that was still barely scraping it by. It's only probably in my 7th year that I was like, okay, I can breathe. I don't have to worry about if I spend this 10 Rand, where am I going to get the other 10 Rand to replace it?
But is it hard managing artists? Not even managing, but working with them?
It's not hard, but it isn't the easiest task. Remember, it's not, you know, my company does celebrity PR as well as corporate PR. So in corporate PR, you're dealing with a brand manager and a brand that's, you know, usually already established, or maybe not even established, but a brand manager who understands where the vision is, what their mission statement is, where the brand needs to go, how this needs to be PR'd in their head. With a celebrity, it's a very different process. You know, you are a celebrity, but you're not like Deleuze, you're not like Shane, you're not like Anele, you are a completely different person. You have a different personality, you like different things. And I always say, you know, and if you have a brand, you need to understand that you are not going to get everybody to like you, and everybody is not going to like you. But my job is to make people fall in love with you on your talent regardless, whether they like you or not. And that's really what my job as a publicist is. Building a brand is hard for a celebrity also, because at some point they need to change their image because people get bored. So now you've got to find a whole new way for people to fall in love with you. So it's a constant thing. It's a constant thing to keep up. It's a constant change to make. The hardest part, though, is for people to fall in love with you initially when you're just getting into the industry, because you are competing with a lot of people. Everybody wants to be in the entertainment industry. Everybody's trying to make a quick buck. Everybody's trying to be famous. And I always tell people, you know, your aim should really be to be rich, not to be famous, because fame can fade, but your money, if you invest it well, can last you a long time.
And to be good, work on your craft, do what you do best. So take us into those boardrooms where you're designing these strategies, because so often we see beef or some kind of controversy coming into the media space when an artist is about to launch. So are those PR stunts, and how do we identify if it is a stunt?
I'm never going to tell you how to identify them, because that's my job, to make you believe whatever I put out.
Come on, Farrah.
But there are times when, yes, there are PR stunts. I mean, that's how we get people engaged, and sometimes it's a really good PR stunt that people will pull off, and other times it's just in such bad taste. And I think that's the difference, where you actually need a publicist to tell you what's in bad taste and what is really good for your brand. Because something that you might think is a great publicity stunt could hurt your brand beyond repair, and it's really hard to come back from that. So you need to be very careful of the PR stunts you pull off. But yes, PR stunts are part of PR strategies. You know, a lot of the hype that you see out there is for us to make sure that people are talking about you all the time.
Absolutely. Farrah, I know you're a straight talker, so it's great to have you on the show. Anybody who doesn't follow you doesn't know what they're missing out on.
birthday, sweet thing.
You're gonna cry.
You look lovely.
Who? What?
Hi.
This is my baby girl, my Shamiso.
Oh God.
Oh wow, Nana.
Happy birthday. I had to come through for you. These people actually like you.
What, unlike you?
Yeah, so it was...
She hasn't called me all day, and this is what you do.
Yes, because
she hasn't called her mother all day to wish her happy birthday, and this is what you do?
She's surprising you.
I was called yesterday. So I was like, let me just not speak to you the whole day. And then you tried to call me, and I was on the way here, and it was just like...
So wish me a proper happy birthday, please.
You need to sing and everything.
Exactly.
No. Happy birthday, Mom. I'm very proud of you. Aww. You're killing it. I love you. I'm glad I look like you because you're quite pretty. And and I'll send you a proper message. I just didn't want to speak to you at all today so you could be sad and then be happy. But happy birthday, and I love you, and you're the most amazing sometimes person I know.
Sometimes. All right, what a pleasant surprise. I'm just so stunned, my goodness. She always gets her birthday gifts very wrong. Her birthday gifts to me very wrong.
I got you cute
but I think,
shoes.
oh, thank you. I think you've made up for this. What
Yeah.
a pleasant surprise. I can't believe this. Wow, well, after the break, Dales shows us why he is Mr. Fresh to Death with the performance of his latest single. Oh, I'm going to need a moment to recover, but stay with us. I must say that today has been absolutely great. What a pleasant surprise, you know, for your daughter to show up at work after not having wished you a happy birthday. It just made all the difference.
I'm the most
Thank
special thing
you.
in your life.
Anyway, well, I want to send a big shout out to everyone who's wished me a happy birthday, and of course to all our guests for today, Farah Fortune, Shane Eagle, and of course, Two Fresh Les. Tomorrow on the show, one of my all-time icons of talk, Felicia Mabuza Sattl. Now, she managed to create a platform where key conversations in our country at the time were taking place. We were learning to talk to one another, so she'll be joining us. But first, Les is ready for our performance, and will be closing us off.
Yeah, she wanna hop in a choo-choo. Yeah, I stay fresh, like I just copied some new shoes. Got off the phone with 2 shoes. He said he coming with choo-choo, cause she wanna hop in a choo-choo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. That's right, she wanna hop in a choo-choo. Yeah, I stay fresh, like I just copied some new shoes. Got off the phone with 2 shoes. He said he coming with choo-choo, cause she wanna hop in a choo-choo. She wanna hop in a choo-choo. Yeah, I stay fresh, like I just copied some new shoes. Got off the phone with 2 shoes. He said he coming with choo-choo, cause she wanna hop in a choo-choo. Alright. She wanna hop in a choo-choo. She wanna ride, she ride, alright. She wanna hop in a choo-choo. She wanna ride with the gang. She wanna hop in a choo-choo. We gonna ride with the gang. Come on, yeah. One more again, keeping it hot for the summertime. Rap Simmons with the running man. Diamonds dancing like it's hammer time. Your man chilling with the mother guys. I'm a boss, here to certify. My girl looking like candy cane. The north side sitting hella high. Yeah, I'm just saying, you ain't messing with the show. I'm just saying, you ain't messing with the bro. I'm just saying, feeling waving like the ocean. I'm just saying, I'm a legend like Hogan. Matter of fact, Ric Flair. Wrist moving like a hula hoop. Now that I'm on a high level, my whip gotta be bulletproof. Seats gotta be courtside, feet gotta be horse high. Everything on the God level, so I can understand the force side. Yeah, she wanna hop in a choo-choo. Yeah, I stay fresh, like I just copied some new shoes. I know you see. Got off the phone with 2 shoes. He said he coming with choo-choo, cause she wanna hop in a choo-choo. She wanna hop in a choo-choo. Yeah, I stay fresh, like I just caught me some new shoes. Yeah. Got off the phone with 2 shoes. He said he coming with choo-choo, cause she wanna hop in a choo-choo. Check it out. Mess up the summer with the cold rakers. Yeah, just to be honest, I am so reckless. Yeah, fresh out the fire, straight into the pot. Yeah, he watch me serving like coca. Back and forth with the pot, duffel bag with the pound. LES with the smile, Outcast with the style. Granddaddy with the loud. Bad shorties on the couch. Handshakes with the thigh. Cause all y'all hear is smoking out. She wanna hop in the choo-choo. I stay fresh like I just copping some new shoes. Got off the phone with 2 shoes. He said he coming with choo-choo. Cause she wanna hop in the choo-choo. She wanna hop in the choo-choo. I stay fresh like I just copping some new shoes. Got off the phone with 2 shoes. He said he coming with choo-choo. Cause she wanna hop in the choo-choo. Forget the follow, throwing shame and it's payback. I'm like $1 cause the money's where my name at. You tryna call her when she with me, what a shame, yeah. You tryna call her when she with me, what a shame, yeah. On a PJ like it's 2 of us. I'm just living like I knew it was. Playing albums, yeah, it's numerous. All my hitters on the tour bus. Snake hitters trying to ruin us. Crib looking like a fortress. I gotta make sure that you know what's up. Yeah. She wanna hop in the choo-choo. Yeah, I stay fresh like I just got me some new shoes. Got off the phone with 2 shoes. He said he coming with choo-choo. Cause she wanna hop in the choo-choo. She wanna hop in the choo-choo. Yeah, I stay fresh like I just got me some new shoes. Got off the phone with 2 shoes. He said he coming with choo-choo. Cause she wanna hop in the choo-choo.